Are we in? Somebody comment to let us know you guys can see us and hear us.
No, we're more interested if we made it in.
No, we did. I'm just checked. I checked, so we're good. We're live. They see us.
Nice. I guess it's more important that they can hear us as well.
Yeah. Can you guys hear us? Let's see in the comments. Somebody let me know. Okay, it works. All right, I guess we're good. Okay, dude, take it away.
Sweet. Hey guys, really pleased that you guys all have joined us. Thought it would be fun to do it this way. I know that a lot of you have different questions, maybe for me about what I have going on, what I've done. We're definitely going to get to all those questions. I'd kind of like to kick this off with, jumping right on board with what's Gamerboy and sharing that. I think a lot of people are interested in what I have going there, and hopefully you guys love it. I'm really excited about the piece. From there, I have some prototypes I want to share with you, and then let's go on ahead and we'll get into Q&A session. If you guys have questions, I'll do my best to answer them. So there might be some things I can't answer, of course, but I'll always do my best. So this is gonna be fun.
It's gonna be awesome. All right, so just so everybody knows what I'm doing here, I'm just kind of hosting for Jason, so this is not my episode, but I'm gonna just kind of keep track of questions and stuff for people, and put some questions up on screen if we got them, and I'm gonna kind of run the magic from behind. So that's the only reason you're seeing my face, and I'll be chatting a bit.
Yeah. Now, and this was something I requested, and I'm super excited that Sean was open to doing this for me. I kind of thought it might be beneficial to be able to have someone to have, kind of a moderator, but also someone to kind of bounce back and forth off of a little bit more than me just going live. And here I am just kind of not necessarily talking to myself, but in a way I am when it's just a chat feed versus me chatting with someone a bit.
Yeah. And it's tough to talk and read chat at the same time too.
It is. I keep looking at all of them and I need to stop.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, Jason and I can both see the chat, and then I can do this magic. So we've got a whole lot of hellos. Look at this.
Yeah.
I'm playing with it. This is new for the both of us for running this stuff. So there's a lot of cool, fun tools in here. So we're good. Oh, Jamie is super excited about the game.
Man.
Yeah, it is. It's
because cool. I almost feel like I've drummed it up too much, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, that was lackluster." I think everyone's gonna like it. They're gonna enjoy it.
I think everybody should announce new products this way. Yeah. I think it just makes it way more fun than just a post in a group, right?
I agree.
Okay, so we're gonna switch. All right.
So Gamerboy, as you guys know, I shared this, I think a couple weeks back, not positive dates, all that, but came up with an idea of something I think that's a little bit different, incorporating more of it not just being a fidget, but something where I wanted to have art involved into the piece. So with that being said, we'll go, and this is Gamerboy. It is a 3x3 2-click 3x3 2-click square piece. It's clearly based off a certain shape and form that many of you are familiar with. What I've done is, again, going back to it, the stickers are, done graphically. We do a graphic design in order to create this. I then adhere it into the piece. And then what's happening is I'm putting clear UV resin over them, hitting them with UV light, they harden, and we get Gamerboy. It is a heck of a process. I know that some of you, maybe all of you, are familiar with when I did Zomboy during Halloween, and that was the first time me messing with UV resin. I wanted to figure out another piece and something that I could go on ahead and tinker around with, and this piece just, in my opinion, really, really lent itself to that opportunity. I have one, of course. I have quite a few of them because I'll be dropping them tonight. Holographic sticker inside. Each and every one of these, just to kind of give you a background of process besides just the UV, peel the sticker off, and then I apply them with tweezers, trying to get them perfectly inset in there, because there's always a little wiggle room, as I've mentioned before, about tolerances with 3D printing. It's not the same as going into something that's metal, where I just have where you have a lot more control of the tolerances. But I'm super happy with it. They're all going to be crunchy. Again, anything that is encapsulated that I offer as of right now, it's crunchy. I don't have a way around that. It's either I risk doing something where the tolerances are too tight and I can't fit the magnets, and then all of those are scrapped, and that other option of putting in glue is just not going to pan out ever, because I'm not putting glue on the expensive machinery just to see if it works. But anyways, kind of rambling there. The super excited about, again, 2-click. I think that Sean will have some things to share too, of functionality, how you play with it. He was showing off a little bit because I already shipped one his way. But with that being said, the other super cool thing about Gamerboy is this. Each month we are going to be releasing a new game, if you will. What's happening is the character is, of course, based off Fidget Boy, but his name in the Gamerboy world is BitBoy. Super cool part of this is that Sean is actually the designer behind Star Guardian, the something him and I linked up about, and I thought it would be really cool for him to basically play creative director and give me some designs, and came up with this. And so moving forward, each month he's going to work with me and help produce these amazing pieces of art that will do limited exclusives each month. So the Gamerboy you just saw with the holographic, this is going to be my standard issue, and I'll continue releasing them each month. But the limited editions, they will be a once a month, maybe twice a month drop. And once it's done, it's done. Very similar to how I do all my other products, where, once I do a colorway in this version, it's once that sticker's done and that game, if you will, is done, then it's done. So I really like this as a opportunity to do something a little bit different in this space. The opportunity to collab with Sean on this is super exciting. He's someone that, over time, him and I have developed a great relationship, a great friendship, and it's exciting to be able to connect in this sort of way and get him involved on this project.
Yeah, this is I mean, and again, I'll just kind of jump in for a second, because I can't be in front of a camera and not be talking a little bit. But this is so the idea of this that makes us so fun is that, yeah, when Jason and I are talking about it, it's a limited edition run. And so these are hopefully will become collector's items, because every month or so, or whatever Jason decides to do, there's going to be a different game. And the theme, of course, is that BitBoy is going to be on all of the games. But like the Game Boy cartridges you'd get, you'll be able to collect the individual games. And also, so, well, Jason, I'll let you talk about, like, you want to talk about, like, just the concept of how we're going to kind of move forward with that.
Yeah, the cool way we thought that the group could get involved is each month we could potentially do a poll of different gaming genres, if you will. So it's, we want a shooter or, fishing game, whatever the game list might be. You guys vote on that list, and whatever one is number one, we'll go on ahead and, Sean will go on ahead and design something based off that genre for BitBoy, and that will end up becoming the piece that we utilize on the exclusive Gamerboy for that month.
So, like, if there might be like a racing one, there might be like a sports one, there might, so those. Oh, Corey was saying Contra. But that's kind of the idea.
Yeah, and so let me address that. Yeah, let me throw it out there real quick. So one thing, there's one thing about all my products is, like, I do ride a fine line. I get that, but, like, I do have to still be super careful with whatever I'm doing, not to invade into Nintendo world, because they will bring a hammer down. So it's like, I think that we can be themed in a way that's still, intelligently done, where we're not passing any copyright boundaries. But some of the things that people have requested before, it's just, that's why I don't do them. I don't want to take any risk, and we get Fidget Boy shut down over something that we
Right.
could have been avoided. But nonetheless, yes, I think that we can definitely, explore opportunities vested off games we previously enjoyed. Again, going back to the genres thing, that's kind of where Sean and I's headspace was at.
Yeah, I think, and that, yeah, exactly. That this is going to be more of a, I guess you'd call it an homage to the games of that era and that style, but nothing specifically ripping off or copying an actual game.
Yeah.
But the
I
genre.
See one of the questions to answer Cal's question about, sorry, I have to move my cameras here. How about maybe printing some display case? That's actually something that I spoke a little bit with Sean about, is potentially figuring out, developing a case that would make sense around these. It's kind of, figuring out the quantity that I'm going to end up making that makes sense, or maybe I just make them a bit smaller and then people can kind of pick and choose. But it's a great comment, because it is something that was and discussed a little bit. You always, the thing for me is I have to take in consideration is, per drop, how many I'm dropping and how many cases that would be. It's, from my side of everything is always print times, and bigger something is, the longer it takes. I think the most recent example that's a great example was the Boy. I had mentioned previously about how long it takes to make them, and I get roughly 6, sometimes 7 out of about around 14, 15 hours, and that's everything went well, nothing went wrong. And I also have to stick around and wait for them to where I can put the magnets in. But nonetheless, I think a display case would be cool, or some sort of case to put them in, and it will be something I'll try to figure out, because I think it's a cool idea as well.
Yeah, that's well, and I think so. Now that we can kind of show them, what's really cool about these is because they're like that on both sides, right? But when they're on their own, they're essentially like a game cartridge, like without being able to sort of design on the back of it, because it's a plate. They still, on their own, they just have that that form factor of a cartridge. So it's really cool that it's the same design on both sides. I love it, and I love that you can actually mix and match. I don't know. Was I supposed to show that one? Is that a secret?
I don't know. I mean, now everyone's gonna be like, I want the blue one, and like, hey, make that big. I don't think we need to sit with the screen up anymore, if you don't mind, please.
Yeah.
Just so they can see the fidgets better. But and you're welcome to show it. The reason I sent Sean the other one was because I get those requests, of course, for stronger magnets. So I sent him a hellacious all-in 52, which is
yeah. This one, this blue one. If anybody likes to be challenged by magnets, like it is super strong. But this thing, yeah, like I love. We've got, I mean, we've all seen sort of square magnets before. We've seen like the octagonal or the hexagon magnets, or the sliders, I should say. But I keep doing this in front of my camera.
Oh God,
where'd I go? I'm looking at the screen and I keep pointing to my screen, but my camera's not there. It's up here. But the thing about these is the laddering is really interesting, because the magnets work really well, and it's light enough that you can just keep flipping all over the place. Like I've been trying to sort of get used to this the last couple days, and there are it's really interesting because it is a 2-click, but it's like a 2-click in all directions, right? Like, and I think what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to start off trying to just ladder off of the first push, right? Like they're going to take it, they're going to push it once and try to ladder, and it doesn't ladder like that. You have to take it. You're seeing the back of my hand, but I can't like show it to the camera, but you have to take it and push twice. So it's going to be like a 2-click thing. And I'm going to kind of go over that, because obviously I'm going to review it. I was waiting till this came out, but I have just been mindlessly flipping this thing like in the car, you're walking around, because the magnets are so strong in the corners. Like this isn't even a super strong one, but they're still strong enough in the corner that you really have to force it to if you want it to fly off. So and actually the resin is like sits perfectly on the thumb to push. And then if you don't like the resin, what I find a lot of times too is I end up pushing along the FidgetBoy, like along the text, so it's a grip.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's awesome.
I'm in that same boat. I noticed that a lot of times I actually prefer to be on the FidgetBoy side for like first push upwards. And Sean and I were playing with this earlier, trying to figure out where you put your hand on the camera. As if it's difficult to figure out. You just put it in front of the camera. But yeah, again, like I thought this would be a cool way to share with you guys. I really appreciate all the positive comments and everything. I apologize trying to talk as well as read comments is this is new for me.
Tough. So do we want to go to some of the comments, some of the questions?
Yeah. I mean, like again, that was, I said Q&A will end up having any questions that we have right now about Gamerboy. Like I'd prefer to go on ahead and answer those now versus us going backwards. Answered about the thought of a case. I think it's a great idea. Someone else had some questions.
There's questions about the case. We're getting a lot of questions.
Yes, you do have to blow it in order for it to work. It will stop working. The magnets won't work anymore. Yeah.
We got so somebody asked, what time do they drop?
Yes, there will be a limited, like the limited both versions. Let me just hold them up. It's up. Jeez Louise, that's embarrassing. Yeah. Both versions will be dropping tonight, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I'm dropping 18 of both. Oh yeah. When this live stream ends, I have the drop going live both for these, and then I of course have a whole bunch of fidgets sitting right here to my left that I'm keeping looking at. They'll all be dropping.
Hold them up, show people.
Y'all want to see them live right now? What's dropping? I have a bunch of stuff. All right.
And someone's asking too, any danger of the sticker lifting off because of pushing on it?
No.
AA is asking, and actually, so the sticker is covered in resin. So there's a full resin sort of like front end on it. So you don't even actually touch the sticker. You push on the resin.
I can share that. Actually, I have a couple models. Anything where it has like a problem. This one being an example, it had some misprints on the bottom, but I went on ahead and put a sticker anyways before noticing that. But you can maybe come on.
There you go.
So the sticker, I can't. Can y'all see like that lip? It's inset down into the piece. Not sure how deep you can see it.
You can see it.
So yeah, after I do that, it is, I'll go through with the tweezer, push all the corners, all the edges, smooth it out, and then place the UV resin on top. It was one of those, like trying to judge how much UV resin really needs to be on them. But for the test pieces that I've been just, constantly carrying, that's what I do with anything I new I make. It becomes the only thing I carry for however long, a week or two. And I've had no problems with it. But again, going back to the Zomboy, that being the first one, I never had any comments, concerns, or anything there. It's just I'm executing these better, having tested better ways of pouring the resin, and then I hit it with fire, and then I hit it with the UV light in order to harden them. So we should be good there.
Yeah, I've been using this. I don't even remember when I got this. I got this at least 3 days ago, or maybe even longer. And I've been using it daily. Like, again, anytime I get something that I'm going to review, it's the only thing I use up until the review so that I can get used to it. And I've been pounding on this thing, like hitting the resin constantly, and I haven't noticed anything.
Yeah, and like, the big one on the first run with the Zomboys was it was all new to me, but I had started doing it, and I should have done more testing before I just like put those out there. But at the same time, like I was just so excited about it. And then doing like glow in the dark UV, all new world to me. I didn't realize it was going to be so hazy. There's a lot of learning curves in any, new things we do. But for this one, it was pretty critical mass for me personally, just because I try to be semi-perfectionist with anything I'm going to put out there, where the bubble thing. And it's like once you hit it with heat, it usually, you know, dissipates, deals with them, but you can still have it happen. And with that being said, it was you know, you can't, once you put that UV resin on, because it's clear, you can't see where it actually like hits the lip and resides. So some of like trying to just figure that portion out before I hit them, because as soon as you hit them with the UV, it's, you know, that's it. They're hardened. But the ones every one I have, I'm, you know, went through, checked them, pulled anything bad, kept anything good. So, yeah. If y'all want to see tonight what else is dropping, I just organized them so you guys can see them. If y'all want me to share that as well.
Oh, I think people want that shared.
Right.
I think people want to see it.
We can do it. Oh yeah. It don't focus. Maybe I'll do less at a time.
It's there. That's always a good spot.
Okay. I'm not sure how well you guys can see it. It's all sparkle red. One of the things I noticed on multiple fidgets was typically when I do plates with a PLA such as this one, it works a lot better than had I just done the whole print sparkle, kind of too coarse of a thing. So sideways view, you can see the dividing line. So we have Boo Boo Boy, Flip Side Boy, dropping Beeper Boys again as well. There's a little something on that one. Again, the sparkle stuff, you can't see it too great on camera. Maybe you can, at least on my view, you can't. Same thing.
No,
Red in the middle.
Yeah, it's in. You don't see the sparkle, but you see it like it's in focus.
Yeah, no, they're super sparkly. I like it. I thought it looked really cool. I did, you know, sometimes when this happens of doing multiple of the same, it's kind of a two-part thought where it's something either I really like, or the combination of I really like it, but some people might want to collect the different versions in the same style. I know that's kind of maybe a missed opportunity in some places where it's like, oh man, I wish that Boo Boo looked like the Fidget Boy colors this week, or, you know, just something. But anyways, 2 Fidget Boys will be dropping tonight.
Oh, that pink is sexy.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
For the people who don't want pink. Both crunchy. They're both crunchy and 2-piece sliders, non-encapsulated. And then 2 Infiniboys are dropping.
Very cool. Yeah, those color combinations are great. Corey asked, do those glow?
Nothing is glow in the dark. UV. Ding, ding. Y'all want the UV thing? You want me to show it off?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I might have to turn all my lights off for you guys to see this.
And then it'll take you forever to relight.
Yeah, I don't think you guys are going to be able to see it. Yes. Like the purple is like a super hyper orange. So I'll just tell you. The red in Beeper Boy, y'all can't see it. Kind of pushing that orange, kind of an orange. The sparkle itself does not glow though.
Heidi Robbins is saying, just take my money already.
Heidi is amazing, by the way. Thank you, Heidi. And yes, the pink Infiniboy, it is also doing the orange thing. Actually, you can kind of see it a little bit.
Oh yeah, you can see it turning.
I apologize for not looking at the camera. There's just no way for me to do.
I don't think anybody cares. They're not looking at your face. They're looking at your fidgets.
All right. And then of course both Gamerboys, and everything's loaded up. It's just the typical thing where I just have to hit publish and they will go live after everyone comments. I don't see them. I don't see them. I don't see them.
Where are they?
They'll go live.
So, I mean, do you want to just kind of go to any more questions then? Like, because people have been talking.
Yeah,
so I've been kind of putting them up on screen.
What about Gamerboy or about other stuff? Because if it's other stuff, I'd prefer to wait just a second so I can show you guys something else. But that's up to you guys.
Yeah, no, I think if you got other stuff to show it, and then we'll kind of like chat at the end.
Okay. So I shared keychain ideas. Again, this is super early conceptual phase, but a couple comments were made about, man, I wish we had roller balls that click. Well, I did it. I did it, guys. Oh, they click. Here, I'm going to put it close to the mic. Can you hear it?
Yep.
Or can only I hear it?
No, I can hear it. It comes through.
So yeah, they took a little figuring out and planning of redesigning some things, but still trying to figure out exactly how and what I want to release. But I at least have some ideas in my head of what I think would work really well. The thing right now that I love about it is just, it feels good. It clicks well. The balls roll good. The first rendition does roll better. I'm going to put it out there. I have a hollow space in there, so of course they roll better versus this one is rolling atop two very, very tiny clickers in it, but it still rolls well. It's just not as smooth. So I'm kind of tinkering with it in my mind of maybe one's just a roller ball and one clicks. Maybe I expand it, make it a little bit larger, stretch it out. So I was hopeful or just, kind of thinking that maybe potentially I'd drop something next week, but I'm going to hold out for now because just like anything, like when I release it, I want it to be the best thing that I could release. And I don't end up going back and being like, oh man, like I wish I would have done that. Or, you bought something and now here's V 2.0 a week later because I had a better idea. That sucks on a consumer's level. Yeah, I don't want that. One other thing I thought might be cool to share with you guys is something I don't think I've really shown anyone. Maybe I might have shown Sean. I started working on this and I don't know. I think it has legs. So I've created this tiny turntable and it has little clickers, but I'm working on figuring out something that it works well. I mean, it works decently now. Here's the sound of it. But I'm working on something that I'm using a thrust bearing in it. I think it would be cool to be able to swap out the records and it run, magnetically or with a thrust bearing, and or I think it would be cool to, I can't think of really any 3D space where anyone's done a mechanical, and I think that I can do that because I have some different posts with the the ball's already in there in the post versus it just being spring and magnet. And so I'm going to test it out. I thought it was kind of a cool place or cool piece. And again, I think it might be potentially another one of those where I can develop it into some sort of keychain thing. I think that having these quieter options is a cool thing to try to get into a little bit more in 3D space that I don't think any of us have really been taking on. I mean, we can argue all day about whether or not a slider that without crunch is silent, but I mean, it's just quieter. So anyways, those are prototypes of things I have going on. I thought, it'd be cool to share those with you guys tonight. Everyone who wanted to be here and join me, I thought would be a cool thing, but I think we can go on ahead and Q&A everything up.
I was going to say, I love the concept of, I mean, obviously all the stuff you've shown, but the record player, obviously, right? I don't even know if I can show this in here, but I've got my collection. I've been a vinyl guy for ages. And the idea of that, what I love about some of these fidgets is when we get desk fidgets, right? And that I see very much yeah, and that's awesome. Being able to pull that out and then, whatever you end up doing with those albums, if you're looking at custom ones or if it's you could mix and match colors. But I love the idea that it can just sit on your desk and you can just play with it, but that it's thematic, right? It is for vinyl people, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So I really
one day maybe it'll be an actual music box. The faster you spin it, I make it make music for you. I don't know, man.
As long as your music sounds like click, 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 click. Great.
Actually, I don't know where I put it. It's not just on my desk. Sorry, I have something else. I have all these different ideas and things, and I honestly have a giant box of just thoughts. The best way of doing what I'm doing is, at least for me, is I have all these ideas. I start trying to, I put pen to paper. I start designing something. That's one of the things I think that 3D has just opened this huge world of opportunity for doing things on demand, more or less, where I can try to, test things, prototype things. And that's the cool factor for me, is being able to do that. So anyways, I digress, and I'm happy to answer questions. I saw one person asked where I'm at in North Carolina. I'm in Greensboro. I'm from Raleigh. So I've been in Greensboro, I don't know, 12, 13 years now.
So I put up, Jason, somebody, TBD EDC is asking about Octoboy.
Yeah, let's talk about it again. Where the heck are they?
Probably a good time for
Behind
it.
my water. Okay. I'm going to need my flashlight. It was funny because I brought this one up to Sean earlier before when him and I were just figuring out tonight. So let me share, guys. Okay.
We spent hours prepping.
So here's the problem with Octoboy. Because of the magnet, or because of its shape, because of it being an octagon, y'all can see the magnets clearly. You would have right now a 3-click where it's 3-click up and down or left and right. The problem becomes as soon as you turn it just one angle, the magnets are now offset to where you now have a chaos slider, which, I'm not saying that's the end of the world. It's just like one of those things where you just want to like solve for it. And at least for me, my mind just doesn't stop. So I kind of something like this where it's like, I want it to be this home run. I have to stop myself sometimes because my mind, like I'll get very anxious about it, and it'll end up like overtaking me continuing to be productive over kind of obsessing over one thing. So to be honest, I've backburned it just so I could move forward a little bit, especially once I had Gamerboy. I get kind of a list for myself of products I'm working on or prototypes I'm working on, and the one that ends up having the biggest legs or best grip on me, that I'm like, oh man, like I think other people are gonna love this. My friends and family, I share them with them, and my number one reviewer and number one fan, my daughter, it's a lot of her little 3-year-old thoughts come into play with what I'm doing. And when she's all about it, I'm all about it, and that actually honestly pushes me further into, all right, this is the one that I'm gonna obsess over and figure it out until I get it to a perfect spot. So Octoboy is going to happen. Like I don't know if I'll be married to like, let's force it to be an octagon. I didn't want to copy, just clearly I could move to a hexagon, copy Guardian, and I just don't want to do that. That's why I went with the shape I went with, because I haven't seen someone try to attempt so many sides, but it can work well. But for me, it's just like not well enough, because at the same time, what I was saying about the 3-click, the other problem that you have is it's fine if it resides and hits 2 magnets at a time, but sometimes on the move right there, like
it falls in between magnets, right?
That is all of a sudden, and even all N52, and I have these super close. I mean, like super, super close to the base. It still will fall apart. That sucks. I can't let that out to the public. So gonna figure it out. I'll figure out something. Like it's going to happen.
Someone's asking, could you put a distinctive wow, this is quite the question here. I'm going to put this up. Could you put a distinctive non-symmetrical pattern so the player knows the correct orientations to keep it in?
Dude, that's actually a great question. 2 thoughts I had for that was, one, I had thought about putting like up-down arrows within the inside of the piece on both of them. So this way, when you did have one, slid up, you would be able to see the arrows on your side that's facing you, of course. So if I did it on both sides, you'd know the arrows. Other thought I had was going ahead and recessing a center area and putting arrows within that as well. I'm open to entertaining it. It goes back again to that whole, like, I don't want to have to hit you guys with like, oh man, this is so exciting, and you buy it, and then I have my shower thoughts, my brain clicks, and I suddenly have, this is how it would work. And it's like, oh, buy V2 that doesn't have arrows in order to, if it needs an instruction book, then I think it's a problem.
Yeah, and that is the thing, right? If it only works a certain way, then someone's going to find a way for it to not work.
Widget Boy.
Widget Boy. Look at that.
Hey, I printed off a handful of the Widget Boy base plates. I'm actually going to go back and rework some of my thoughts, designs, and everything for the pieces. And part of that is because of the Fidget Fix and his review. Some of his thoughts of, putting some designs on the pieces, a little more thought into them. And I agree. It's something I want to do. So those that did already purchase them, like, just hit me up. I'll make good on that sort of thing. I don't anything I do with my products. I'm die hard about customer service, and so, like, I come up with these new pieces. I'm happy to make right for the handful of people that bought them the first round. And, like, here's our new pieces. The board itself, there's no change. It's still a board
Well,
filled with N52s.
like, have you ever thought about, and I'm throwing this at you as one of the viewers, have you ever thought about just making new pieces and selling those as different pieces? So you could almost create a collection of just, so if you've bought the plate,
Right.
then you can actually buy new game pieces to go on.
That was the intent. I don't know. I think that, but not even think, I know for me, the reason why I didn't keep making them is because, I think there was a sticker shock there. And that sucked because that's never what I want from my brand. And what I offer is,
Right.
I don't want my brand to feel like to anyone where it's like, oh man, like, he's just charging this because he can. It's like, this thing has 32 N52 magnets in it. It takes me a few days to print them. They're all encapsulated. It's like, but I think that as the group's gotten larger and people have come to, like, understand what I'm doing and how much time, effort, work, my own money, like, I mean, everything that goes into things, I think that people have been a little more, accepting of, maybe purchasing something that cost a little bit more than my typical 30 and 40 range. So with that being said, that's why I didn't continue going and making them, or even, that was the original idea was, hey, I'm going to make new pieces and parts so you can buy just those packs, and I'd charge much less for them just because you already bought the expensive portion, which is that plate. So,
Yeah. I honestly don't think people would balk at that, right? And especially if the plate is the main part, and that costs a certain amount, and then you could just sell the individual game pieces, then you can also reduce the price potentially that way, where you say, here's the price for the plate, you buy what you want for the game pieces, like
Right.
and they're X amount, whatever you offer, buy more, you pay a little less, or whatever it is. But I mean, I think, and I'm even seeing some of the comments down here that people would be okay doing that. I mean, I'm sure there's always going to be some people that love something and some people that hate something, and that's
Right.
fine. You can't make everybody happy, but the idea that you could create a collection. I mean, somebody in here mentioned Christmas. So imagine, Christmas time, you've got ones that are in the shape of snowflakes. At Halloween, you got ones that are in the shapes of, like, pumpkins or whatever. Like, you could have so much fun with the theme. Isn't the tray anymore, but it's like the little pieces. Like, that'd just be kind of cool. Somebody could pop them on their fridge when they're not using them, right? Like, you get a whole collection, then you just pull a couple off and you put it on your tray and off you go.
That might be, I mean, like, here's, an actual Widget Boy with its Widget Boy pieces. And maybe that's a better solution, is that I offer it more simplified. Like, here's Widget Boy with 1 or 2 pieces. If you want the additional pieces of the set, you can add them on. But regardless of what I end up deciding how I'm going to, release these again, I do want, again, just to reiterate, if you are here and you bought one, like, I promise you, all you have to do is reach out to me, like, and clearly, here's the new pieces. I'm always going to err on that side of customers, guys, like always.
I mean, Alberto's making a great point here, though, which is, I can't imagine why you need to worry about sticker shock in this community, like, which is fair. I think we're all numb to prices, right? To certain prices getting higher and higher.
But with that being said, it's, I mean, if we don't, do we have more questions? If not, I know what everyone also is wanting to know, and we can talk about it if you guys want to.
I think there's still some questions. There's still some comments first. So Gizmodo's asking, so the Widget Boy is only the faceplate now, and I don't think that's what you're saying. You're just saying that's like, it's more of a concept that you could look at moving forward, right? That you could
Right.
offer.
Like I went on ahead and printed just the base plates for now. So I have them on hand for as I start to develop the actual, let's call them the widgets themselves for me for testing purposes and everything. But plus this way I already have them ready to go. They take a long time to make. So no, it's not just a base plate, but this is giving me some ideas of maybe how I potentially do a drop for these, maybe with lesser pieces. And by me doing that, that would drive my cost down for me and drive the cost down for, the consumer. And then you decide if the add-on is there. Oh, really, Corey? Oh, really?
Yeah, we've been getting a couple people asking about the metal boo-boo.
Are all the widget boys blue and yellow, green? I'll end up doing like everything for me, honestly, is about sales. If it's not selling, I don't continue making it. And I know that, some colors people like, some colors people don't. But the thing about the widget boys, it's such a like, man, it's very stressful of something that takes a long time to print, that I'm putting that many magnets in and then they don't move, to be like, man, I should keep doing that until it's just like, cool, I'm having to spend, thousands on magnets again because I built a bunch of widget boys. So this iteration, yes, it is blue and green. Will I introduce other colors? Sure. Do I know what they are? No.
Just cycling through while you're answering. This is kind of interesting. So, not to put you on the spot, but I think it's an interesting conversation to have, and there's a reason for it. Alberto or AA was asking about a non-tripophobia version of the Infiniboy. And I think it's kind of important to just mention though that you designed it that way because it has to have plates on both sides, right?
And I have two. Well, it's just the holes, isn't it? I apologize. I'll just go throw it out there. I'm ignorant to the exact definition of the phobia, other
it's
than
the holes. Yeah, it's the holes and giving
so
it.
Like, I can't personally. My answer to you is yes. I will 100%. My intent is to come out with different designs. I released this one first because, as I mentioned, going back to my daughter, I have 4 different variations I designed. This was the one she wanted the most and liked the most. So let it ride. That's what I do. I have a couple other, and actually I don't have them in the room. I'm not going to get up and leave the live stream just to show you guys that, but I'll post photos for you guys in the Fidget Boy.
What does that?
But I did another one that has this on it. Like, does that bother you? Or like, not bother you? I don't want to like downplay trypophobia, but like, is this
like, yeah?
Okay?
So
okay?
I mean, Alberto, you're the one that mentioned it. So we're just not to put you on the spot, but we're just
I'm not trying to be rude. I just like it helps me.
So it's just holes. So Alberto's saying it's just holes.
Okay.
So that's
I didn't
kind
know, like I didn't know if there was like definition of a hole also being that there's inlay. Like I want to be very respectful of,
like I know somebody commented when I reviewed the T3 slider that it's got those alien eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was was that the T3, the magic slider?
Yeah.
Yeah, and someone was saying that sort of triggers their trypophobia because it looks like eyes, kind of like 3 sets of eyes. So we're seeing here. This is an interesting conversation because it is something that I was at some point. I was going to be putting out a video on that, on just the different sort of accessibility challenges and stuff with certain designs. So it's interesting that yours, like that it's a conversation that can be had with the maker, right off the bat. Does that help the slide though? Because by putting so many holes in it, does that create less friction?
Yeah,
I would imagine.
like it is actually. I was happy she chose that because the other designs, I released one other, like the Pebble. It's just a reverse pattern of that pattern, so it makes it quote unquote pebbles, if you will. I released those on the last drop, but I know that was still, I apologize, not good enough for what you're looking for. That doesn't, have some triggering element to it. But the other ones, like, they print really well, but I need you guys to have enough grip on the piece that it's, it's such a thin piece, and So I promise I'll figure it out. Like, but I'll try to remember to get photos up, and I also want to put it out there. Like, I think a lot of you know me well enough to know there's never a time you cannot reach out to me about anything. I mean, that sort of, I have this phobia, or I have, my son or daughter has something going on where, and I'm happy to try to like facilitate figuring out solutions that work in situations where someone might have something that just doesn't work for them. And I'm not saying like, hey, I just don't like red. I mean, come on, guys, like be realistic with me here. But I always try to do what I can.
Heidi was asking, would you consider making a mini Infiniboy to accommodate smaller hands? Is it its size because of the magnets?
You're like the second person I've ever seen ask for smaller, because typically all these guys, I feel like I'm working for Shaquille O'Neal half the time. It's like, I need the slider, like.
It's interesting though, but you just said these guys, right? So is it more that women want smaller fidgets?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
and guys, we just pretend we want to use bigger fidgets because size matters.
The two things that everyone always has to remember is, as I close the gap, if you will, between the spacing of the magnets, each magnet, you're losing less of the clickability. They start to just kind of like just slide. There's not like a stopping. The distance in that space helps that. Clearly I could make a 2-click all day. That's, I remove one row and then we can make it smaller. If you want me to do a test run, I mean, I'll go on ahead and do it, and I'll get them out there if you like it. Then we'll run with it. So Heidi, for you, I will do it.
Man, look at that. Making shit happen live.
On the fly. I'm printing it right now. No, I'm just kidding. These are actually two of my fingers. Two of the printers.
I'm just gonna pull out my magic case here. I find it's interesting, just because I have smaller hands, I think, and I do find some of them a little tougher to use.
I forgot about doing that one in UV. That's fun.
Yeah. The Saya. This is the Saya, right? Or the Asaya?
Yeah. The Saya, yeah. Huh.
That was such a cool, like, blue purple.
I think that's what's so cool is like, it took me a while to figure out which products for me at least like speak the most to you guys, what works the best. And I know I've released a ton of things at this point, not even just saying colorways, but a lot of different products. And for me, it's been who's the top of the top, and I keep those and kind of release others as I come up with new ideas. And I just can't. I'm a one guy show. I think sometimes that maybe either people forget or don't realize that, like, I'm doing all the work. I design all of it. I print all of it. I package all of it. I buy everything. There's no one else helping me other than, my wife cheering me on, my friends, and, you guys cheering me on. So it gets hard to like maintain what makes the most sense to, continue facilitating this piece or that piece at times. So, I kind of go by what I read in the comments on the site of what you guys want, what you like, and that feeds me of what I might do next, or just scrap. Like, man, this thing sucks. If you guys start being like, that's a terrible like piece, I'd clearly just scrap it.
Oh, someone asked too about a square Infiniboy. I would think that might be kind of weird though, right? Like, it might be a little harder to do that flip over with a square shape.
So potentially, I'll go with potentially. The thought with the square would be clearly I'd go to a 3x3 like I'm doing with Gamerboy. Anytime you're adding more surface area to the bottom, to the base, to the bottom of the plates, you run a lot more chance of stickiness or I know that's been a topic of conversation recently. I'm sorry about I'm not sure how to respond sometimes to that. But yeah, let's go ahead. I'll try it. We'll try a 3x3 Infinity, and we'll try a 2-click Infinity that's smaller, and see if you guys like it, because I actually think I know why you're asking for it to be smaller too, is because when your hands, if this was, smaller, and I lost that one. Oh yeah. When I get them off the printer, this is what I do. So hairspray goes onto the build plate. The hairspray helps the PLA latch onto it. So when I get them off, I rub them real quick, and now this thing is good to go. Slides. If you're experiencing stick, maybe that will help you. I don't really have that much problem with stick. Yeah. Anyways,
That's actually true because somebody had meant, and that I don't know if you want to talk about that for a second, but someone had posted that in the group. I think yesterday, right? It was a video about rubbing them together to take out the stick.
Yeah, and I'm not positive. I mean, it's just like for me, that's what I do to every almost. I try to make sure I do it to every single one before I package it. But going back to like, if I do make this a 2-click, which I'll attempt it. Nice thing would be I can see the over being very beneficial with smaller hands to like easily accomplish being able to get the piece over top itself. You know what I mean? Like if it was 2-click, we'd already be going over the edge.
Already be on the other side.
So maybe it will accommodate. I'll try it out. We'll try it out, guys.
You know what? Since we're here and we're all just chatting Fidget Boy, I have to say one of the best tactile sliders you have ever put out is this guy.
Yes. Thank you.
It is ridiculous how it's not the best looking one in terms of like the ones you create, right? Like it's a little different. It's a little underwhelming just because of the other ones. You've got all this great kind of design and contour and stuff, but man, the tactile push on this to be able to just dig your finger anywhere into it is phenomenal. And if people haven't tried this one, like the speed of it too. This is by far like your fastest. I feel like it's your fastest one.
But like that like knocking out those spaces to where you have that see-through, you know, I did that on that as well as Extendo Boy. It makes that thing effortlessly glide. So it's just kind of like, I get that maybe aesthetically people might not like it, but man, functionally, I agree. It's a killer. Like the Boo Boo and Flipside are its only rivals of functionality. I mean, put them all.
This thing ladders. Like this thing wants to ladder. Like all you have to do is just nudge it and it's in. Like there isn't even any like coaxing to get it to do stuff. Like it is fast, it's small, and I just, like I said, I love that I like, especially the way you manage to do, like it's only the middle, right? Like there's like a rise. So to push, when you're pushing on your fingers, like you get that God, the camera's all messed. Like I'm trying to show my camera, but it's always can you guys see this? But it's, you know, your thumb always finds that spot because the balls are in the middle, they're raised. So the grip is fantastic on this one. It's so good.
Yep. And maybe it's time to, you're doing a trade-off. Like if I'm gonna release things I've done before because of this conversation, there's a lot of new people I know as well. Like, well, I'll throw some of them out there. We'll see, if you guys want them, at least we'll do a drop or two of things, and that'll just, what that means is I pause something else. So Fidget Boys will be paused, or Boo Boos, Flipside, they get paused. A lot of times I go off of the comments again. That everyone needs to realize that comment section on that private page is paramount. The things you guys say on there, I take.
You look at it all the time.
Yeah, I'm never not looking at, like, this has become my job, so I'm never not attentive as I can be. Yeah.
There's a lot of I'm just reading. There's a lot of comments about the ball boy. Like a lot of people are asking about the ball boy.
We'll do it. Ball boy also is a 3-piece slider. Remember, it comes. I have a sandwich for it. The sandwich that fits Extendo Boy fits Ball Boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's. I don't have.
But I'm with you. I'm with you in the camp of, like, I was more about the Ball Boy on itself than necessarily it having to be a 3-piece. I don't think it has to be.
No, I think the 3 pieces are fine, but they do start to add kind of a weirdness to the play.
I agree.
Right? Like, because you're focusing on, like, anything else you can use fast and you fire it off in your hand when you're using it. But when you get that 3D or that extended piece, now your brain has to think about,
right,
oh wait, I've got that extra plate in there. Right. So, and I'm sure there are people that love it. I find that when I'm using one with an extender plate on it, it kind of stops my flow a little bit. Like I'm thinking about it more than just feeling it while I'm doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I know that, like, I mean, I think an easy fix for my side and for you, I mean, just everyone would be, if I do it as a 2-click, it would be much easier. I mean, it's inherently there because of it being smaller that it'll work better because it's easier because it's not as long. I mean, like Extendo Boy is very long, and I know a lot of people loved it. Like, you have larger hands and stuff. You're probably all about that life of being able to have something that, excuse me, does what its name says, extends. So, yeah. What else we got?
Oh,
Anything, or we want to talk metal for a minute here?
we got somebody that said walk boy. I don't know what a walk boy would be. That's interesting though.
I know. I thought maybe they saw your talk boy that you have in the background. I'm not sure if I see it
Oh,
right
oh, maybe. So yeah, it looks like a lot of people want ball boy now. All of a sudden, somebody was asking. I guess somebody joined in. Sorry, and I forgot your name. Oh, wait, we got before that. Jay Fran is asking about the metal.
Huh. Okay. So we're getting closer. I know I keep saying that. The gentleman, actually, John, that I am working with, he's the machinist he's the magic behind all of this for me. The guy, like, nicest guy in the world. I cannot thank John enough for everything he's doing, and taking his time to learn the fidget world, and he's gonna nail it. He's gonna knock it out of the park. But there's been kind of a couple setbacks. One, like us waiting on metal. Sometimes metal deliveries take forever, just like any shipment with anything. But there was that. But it's also, this is a learning curve. It's we don't get to just come out of the gate and have, it's not like I have a maker who's been doing this forever who slaps a skin on something. This is coming right out of the gate of like, hey man, John and I started talking, and it was, I'd love to go after the Boo Boo Boy in metal. Like, what is this something you might be interested in? And we had that conversation, and it's been a process of him and I just trying to figure it out. But the his attention and level of detail, and the learning curves, and him teaching himself along the way, it's like, for me, it's the perfect relationship because that's how I work as well. It's teaching yourself new things and figuring out, but you're also pretty obsessive about making sure that you nail what you're doing. Right now, I posted a couple photos. It was the most recent iteration that I have. Sorry, I'm trying to hold and turn it. I receive them, and what happens, is John's probably like, oh god, I don't want to hear Jason's comments, because of course I'll have it's like, just take what I have. But it was just a couple little tweaky things. I want, a little more chamfer around the edges, that sort of thing. And then the ridges actually themselves, just to be just completely, transparent about what's going on, because they extend all the way to the edge there, if you can see it.
Yep.
Because of that, when the two you hit on an edge, it's grabbing.
Oh, it catches.
Like, yeah. And it's something like, I mean, I didn't even think about it, in my designs, it doesn't matter. So it's cool to have this learning process between both of us of what works, what doesn't, and how to make it right. We're adjusting the magnets, the depth a little bit, to facilitate being able to do that, to where they work better. Sorry, I was looking for something. I don't have it on my desk. We are actually going to use our own little screws here. See, they're little 3 holes. I don't know if you can see that.
We see the 2 holes.
Well, the screws themselves have 3 little holes, and so we're going to send the tool with that for you to be able to undo the screws yourself. So you already have the tool, have the screws. Here's some extra screws. So
why that
screw? Honestly, because it was unique and it was cool.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with like, oh man, we should get the screwdriver everyone has. It was more like he showed me and I was like, yeah, like I wanted that screw.
Right. Okay.
Something unique. Right now, as it stands, I still can't give an exact date. I don't know. But there's been a lot of progress on the field. He started working on tops today. Those are in a good place. We're moving right along, and then stainless steel is going to be the bottom plate, and that steel finally arrived today. So we should be making headway. I know that probably for the first drop, can't remember what our numbers were, but I think we were kind of shooting at that like 20, 30 maybe range of how many I'll drop on first drop. And drop meaning lotto. Again, this will be a lottery. It will be a lottery. Can't reiterate that enough. And yes, you will have needed to purchase something from my Etsy shop in order to win in that lottery. I'm a firm believer of that. All of you that have been there and supporting my brand and what I'm doing should be the first ones to have the opportunity to receive these. And I'm gonna, people are gonna be pissed. Okay, I'm gonna stand by what I believe in, and then that's doing that. So yeah.
So just to reiterate that, so it's 1,000% clear. It is, you're going to release a very limited number when you first get them, and it is like a lottery. But to be eligible to even enter the lottery, you have to be a previous customer of a FidgetBoy product. So if you've never bought anything from FidgetBoy, you will not make it into the lottery. And this is
the Etsy shop. It has to be the Etsy shop.
And this is out of loyalty to the past customers, to give customers the opportunity first, right?
Yep. Because I know what's going to happen, and I'm trying to toot my own horn and stuff, but I think we can all be very realistic in the fidget world. Something new and flashy, everyone's excited about. They're very gung ho, and I think we'll end up seeing the group's going to explode from 600 members to damn 2,000 for all we know. And it's just like, that's not fair to everyone who's been involved. It's not fair in my opinion, and my product, and this is what I want to do, and that's what I'm going to do. And
and there'll be somebody that bitches anyways. There always is.
Yeah, but I'm a super nice guy about things, but I like my honest, this time I don't care. And so for all the brand advocates, it's like, I don't think anyone wants to post that, because I think I'm doing something that's the right thing for me, and I think that anyone that's been supporting me would be like, oh yeah, get that guy out of here. Like, I've supported FidgetBoy. So not trying to be a bad guy. That's what I'm doing. So we're working on, because I know, just to try to clear or get every question there could be out there. Yes, it is patina metals at first. We're working on copper, brass. This one currently aluminum. We might do aluminum right now. Copper was today being cut. I'm sure copper and brass. I mean, they're both definitely happening. And aluminum.
Can I ask just while you're talking about, so that aluminum one you held up, is that that's anodized though, right?
It is. Okay. And I looked up, I mean, you and I had a conversation before, you'd mentioned about allergies to aluminum. So anodizing usually helps most people in that scenario.
It creates the barrier. And it's the weirdest thing. I didn't even know it existed until it happened to me. And then the more I researched it, it's so common for way more people than I realized, that just some people touch it and it turns your skin black immediately. And it's just the oxidization. And there's other metals that'll do that as well. But apparently with aluminum, when it's anodized, then it's completely fine. Plus it just feels nicer too, touching like something that's been anodized. And I have to say, that pattern, and I think I've said this to you before in a message, like right away when you lifted up that pattern, I was like, dude, that's rad boy. Like that just rad boy, because it is, it's got such an 80s feel to it. Right away I was like, fuck, I want that color. And I know you're not even releasing that. That was just a test, but it's such a fun pattern that nobody's doing.
Well, one of the other things too is like, I get everyone is on, people get on weird kicks. Like they get obsessed with titanium. They get obsessed with tungsten. They get obsessed. And I'm not trying to be negative by any means, but like for me, what I thought was really cool about aluminum was, with the steel plate base, it's already heavy. I don't know the weight. I'm not going to weigh it right now. Like we'll get all the weights when I have final products. But the cool thing about aluminum is it anodes in different colors than we're all used to, because we're so used to only seeing titanium anodized. So it's cool to we can introduce reds. Like we can't do that in titanium world. We can introduce, it has a different palette for us to play with. And I thought that was kind of a cool opportunity. some might want the lesser weight. People don't always like patina metals. And there's also, what does John want to do? He's the guy machining them. It's his world.
Yeah.
And I'm there to cheer him on as he, makes kind of my dream a reality. And it's awesome.
I love this comment I just put up.
Don't want me to do it. We can end this unless someone has some burning question that I haven't answered. We can go on ahead.
Yeah, I've been trying to click away and put them on screen as we're going, just so everybody knows when this happens. This is a manual thing that I'm like clicking to turn on and turn off.
Yeah, and we did not take that as a joke. Sean and I talked about originally of like trying to only hit an hour and then like
absolutely
cutting it off. It's 10 o'clock our time. So
yeah, but it's I love where's this comment?
That's very good.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's one of the things. That's one of my grails, my 80s grails, is to find a trapper keeper. And I've found them, but they're on eBay and they're like super stupid expensive. Like the Lamborghini one's amazing, right? You see like there's a few of those, but they want so much of it.
Oh man,
like,
I didn't have a name brand one as a kid. I would have had like the rapper creeper or something, it would have been some like weird knockoff one. But remember what I was also like, that just popped in my head. You remember the pencil cases that had like buttons and little drawers would pop out?
Yeah.
Those were really cool. I wonder what those were called.
You know what? I'm gonna what is it here? I'm scrolling away for a second.
Here, I'm gonna publish everything. I hope you don't all leave, but we're gonna go live.
This is a little side thing for people, which is ridiculous. Somebody near my house was selling their old 80s erasers. So I bought her bag of like old 80s erasers that were all like unused. I mean,
that's really cool.
Yeah, but like tons of just I love this shit, man. I've got a whole bag of it. You can see them. So trapper keepers, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm down. So what do you want to do? Do you want to
I'm gonna put it out there that boom. Okay, all of them. Etsy shop is all published, so they'll populate when they populate. But they're going
Etsy's up. Store's up.
Don't leave yet though, because you're gonna want to hear this.
Don't run away because there's
still run away. You're gonna want to hear it. I would at least leave the video on.
Yeah. Okay, so you go ahead, sir. You can announce this, and then
I'll announce it. You explain it. Cool. So wanted everyone here to know that I'd like to do a goal for a Gamerboy. For the giveaway, you had to have been here. I'm gonna let Sean explain the rules. He's done this across, a YouTube before. I have not, so the rules are a little bit different than just be in the group and make a comment. But listen to the rules. This is how you sign up for giveaway for a Gamerboy.
Okay, so if everyone's paying attention, so for the giveaway, do not do it yet. Wait until we say go, because we'll say go and then we're gonna shut. You're gonna enter. I'll tell you the code word at the end. So you're gonna enter a comment, and everybody has to enter the same comment. And then Friday at midnight, Jason's gonna go through and then do a random pick, and then the winner will have to reach out to Jason through Facebook, because you're going to announce it in the Facebook group, right? And then for the winner to prove who they are, unless Jason already recognizes the YouTube account, you're going to then, when Jason says, here's the screenshot of the winner's comment on the YouTube channel, you will send Jason a private message and just say, hey, it's me. But because most people's Facebook profiles don't match their YouTube profiles, you'll have to come back onto this live chat, and you're going to have to write in just a code word he's going to give you. And then that way he'll recognize your YouTube account as it's the same person. And he's just doing that to basically protect you guys, so you don't get ripped off, so somebody else just pretends they're you. So I think that's pretty clear. I would hope. So basically just comment, keep your eye in the Facebook group. We're gonna leave it open till midnight Friday.
Comment in the comments, not this chat. Like again, so what Sean's saying is when we end this, you're going to then comment in the comment section.
Yeah, if you have access. Well, I think they have to comment in the chat. Like they don't have, like it's still the comment section of this
does
video.
it still work that way? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's what you did, right? We tested it, so you were able to comment.
But I commented in this actual chat. I couldn't comment on the actual comments yet.
Yeah, it's in the chat, so there's no way. These live streams are weird. You can only chat. You can't comment.
Okay.
So,
right.
I mean,
so y'all get it. You get the rules. You got the rules.
And that's it. Because if you were to do it in the group, it'd be chaos. People would just be constantly.
Completely agree.
Yeah. So again, in these comments, you have to enter the password, or not the password, but the word. Now, if we say this, I guess we can just kind of do. Now, the thing is, guys, what we don't want to do, we want to make it easy for Jason to look through all the comments with the word. So that's why we're going to kind of stop the chat after this. So the conversation ends, and hopefully people won't continue their conversations because it's going to make it really hard to find the actual comment that like the word, the code word. It's going to make it really tough to find the code word if you guys keep having conversations, as much as we love the conversations. So we're just kind of asking that once this is over and you start entering in that the special phrase, that just end the conversation if you can, and then just bring the conversation back over to the FidgetBoy Face group. Have the conversation there. Like maybe like, Jason, you can start a thread in there or something, or just like or somebody can just go ahead and post and talk about what they saw. But have the conversations over there, not in the chat anymore, so that it'll just be easier. So, okay, over and out. Looks like we got some clarity here.
Hey, Sean, before we end with password, just want to thank you again, bud, for doing all this for
absolutely.
me. I really, really appreciate it, man.
Listen, it's no secret that you and I are friends, and I review your stuff because you send it to me, and it's amazing, but it's also because I love your stuff, right? Like, I loved your stuff before I even got to meet you. So anybody that has an issue with that, fuck off.
That's the password. No, just kidding.
Yeah, here's the password. Okay, so the key phrase to enter into the contest is BitBoy. Just BITBOY. That's it. Enter BitBoy in the chat comments, and then more to come, I guess, right, Jason? Like in the group, you'll update people, and we'll see how things are going. If there's any issues with the comments, then you can always and not Matthew, not Butt Boy. There we go. Thank you. And no, we had 10-year-olds in the chat today.
There's always one.
Yeah. All right. I think we're good. Everybody's kind of entering, so we'll end this. You guys can keep commenting after the live stream is over. You'll still have access to it. And for people who are just watching the recording and hadn't watched the live version, you can still comment.
Yep.
So,
hey, Sean, again, thank you so much, brother.
Absolutely.
And hey, everyone here and everyone who sees this later, I can't thank you enough for making.
That was a great turnout. Oh, and also comment once. One comment, one BitBoy per person.
Yeah, that Butt Boy was a blown vote.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to end the stream, and thanks everybody for showing up. Thanks for making this a great first live stream. Like this
is awesome, guys.
Amazing.
We'll do more. We'll do it again sometime.
That's awesome. All right, guys, have a good night, and dream about your purchases. So, Jason, just hold on. Okay, there we go.